Welcome to the 6th episode of Cooking for Wellness at NYU Langone Health. Today we are focused on gluten-free baking at home. There are many reasons that people try to avoid gluten in their diets, ranging from celiac disease or gluten allergy to just plain preference. If you do not eat gluten-free yourself, you're bound to have a close relationship with someone who does. It can be quite challenging learning how to modify basic recipes to be gluten-free, especially if this is a new change or choice. This is even more intensified with baked goods like muffins, cakes, and cookies. Today we're going to demonstrate how easy it is to bake a delicious olive oil muffin, both gluten-free and completely plant-based. Let's get started. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is set our oven to 350 degrees. So now we're gonna go ahead and zest our oranges and lemons. The zest is gonna give us some nice complexity and really wonderful aromas without the acidity of the juice. Then we're gonna go ahead and make our flax eggs. So I'm taking 3 tablespoons of flaxseed. I'm gonna go ahead and grind them in a basic household coffee grinder. So a little secret about these household coffee grinders is that every kitchen has one. This is how we get our fresh aromatic spices. We grind them fresh daily. Once the flaxseed is ground into a meal, we go ahead and add that to water. So the ratio is 1 tablespoon of flaxseed meal to 3 tablespoons of water. That's the equivalent of 1 egg. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up slightly. And then we go ahead and set that to rest. A good 5 to 10 minutes, it'll actually set and you'll notice a change in the viscosity. While we wait for the flax eggs to set, we're gonna go ahead and sift our dry ingredients into a bowl. So right here we have some gluten-free flour. It's a Red Mill brand. It is potato starch and cassava flour. I sift the flour to make sure it's consistent and the lumps are removed. Granulated sugar. I'm gonna add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. I'm gonna add 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Sift these ingredients together, make sure it's free of lumps. We're gonna take a minute to make sure we incorporate the dry ingredients together. Reason being, we are making a gluten-free muffin today, yet the potato starch in the flour, well, if you overmix it when you're making the batter, you can still develop that gummy texture. So it's best to do as much mixing prior to adding the wet ingredients as you can. So in a separate bowl, we're gonna take the zest of 2 lemons, 1 orange, and about 1/4 cup of lemon juice. We're gonna add some oat milk, 1 cup of oat milk. So now we have about 1.25 cups of extra virgin olive oil. We're gonna slowly let that whisk into the wet ingredients. If you go ahead and dump it in too fast, it could break and you'll lose emulsification. Okay, so we're checking out our flax eggs now. You can see that it's actually developing a viscosity, getting thicker. We're gonna go ahead and add that to our wet ingredients, and then we're gonna combine the two. Here's where I like to go nice and gentle with the mixing. We want it to be well incorporated, but not overmixed. Very important. So just start slow, just about when you stop seeing the white of the flour. The reason why we don't want to overwork right now is because of that potato starch and how it essentially will turn the batter into a lot more difficult to work with, number one, and then secondly, your muffin's going to be very dense and gummy. Okay, we're all set. There's a lot of gluten-free flour substitutes on the market. Today we're using a 1-for-1 variety, and there are many out there. That means you are making a direct substitute for, if your recipe online that you got said 1 cup of flour, you're using exactly 1 cup. Once you start branching off into the other styles or brands, you just have to double check that the ratios will be the same. So now we're gonna go ahead and transfer the batter to the muffin tin. I actually have a silicone mold. It's a really great, versatile, easy to use muffin pan, and these great little liners. We're just gonna improvise. We're gonna pour our batter into this simple plastic quart container. Go ahead and fill them up just about to the crest of the top of the paper mold. Okay, we're ready to move to the oven. The ovens are gonna cook for about 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we're all done. We test for doneness by just simply skewering. If it skewers clean, we're set to go. So we bake these muffins at 350. It's a little bit high for a typical muffin, but since it's an olive oil muffin, I like to get it nice and crispy and caramelized on the top. And that's why we're doing it. It's a little bit warmer than we typically would. Thanks for tuning in. Join us next month and check out our other Cooking for Wellness videos on the NYU Langone Health YouTube page. Feel free to comment on what content you'd like to see. Who ate my muffin?